An exciting story from the former Number 10 Communications Director, Guito Harry, who says that when Boris Johnson was the Prime Minister, the good old days, we sound the music and the trumpets, he and the then Prince of Wales, now the King, King Charles III, had what diplomats like to call a full and frank exchange of views, translate into a big row over the government's Rwanda scheme. Apparently the King referred to the scheme as appalling. It is, of course, worth noting that the Daily Mail also reported that other sources close to Boris Johnson deny this, and I, being a source not entirely unclose to Boris Johnson, haven't asked him, so I don't know other than what I've heard from Guito in the papers. But it raises questions. As Prince of Wales, the King expressed a variety of views, many of which I agreed with. I strongly agreed with the King on his architectural views, on the terrible damage modern architecture has done. I think that Poundbury is one of the most inspirational planning schemes in the country, and that if we had more planning like Poundbury, our house building problem wouldn't be on the scale that it is. But as King, His Majesty must remain above politics, that the neutrality of our sovereign is fundamental to how a constitutional monarchy works. The late Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, was remarkably good at this. Nobody knew what her views were, and when a headline said she was in favour of Brexit, this was swiftly denied by the palace. Nobody ever wanted to trespass on Her late Majesty's political views, and she kept her opinions very much to herself, because the monarch must not allow personal views to become public property. The constitutional monarch is the focus of all our loyalty and of all our support. We may be reporting later on Donald Trump. We sometimes report on Joe Biden. They are politically divisive figures who you may like or you may dislike. But a constitutional monarch needs to be liked, loved indeed, by us all. And that requires political neutrality. And this is potentially going to be more difficult for the King with regard to green policies. Parliament's debating today an energy bill that is going to put more costs onto the British people. But the King should not be seen either to support this or to oppose it. And it'll be interesting to see how the current Prince of Wales behaves. Obviously, as Prince of Wales, he's got more freedom, but as Prince of Wales tends to become king by the general passing of time, people may remember views that he had in the past, and there are difficulties with that if people then assume that the sovereign has political opinions. But of course we want to hear from you. If you were a fly on the wall and saw this bust-up between the then Prime Minister and the then Prince of Wales, particularly email me, mailmog@gbnews.uk.